Hey dude, what are you doing? It's time on Devlog.
Okay, hold on. Just 5 more minutes. I think I can kill this boss this time for sure. Okay, let's get started. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another devlog of our anime-style farming sim adventure game, Project Skyfarm. We have a few cool things to show you today, like our fully functional expedition progression system, clock UI, concept art on the land below, and the finalized concept art on the celestial gate. So yeah, let's get started. Last month we covered briefly on how expedition worked in our game, which required the player to find the guiding light through interacting with the world, and then follow it to the randomized exit somewhere in the level. We've spent some time this month working on that system, and it's fully functional now. This is the first time in our game that you're able to travel between levels, so we had to spend a little extra time coding to make sure all the data like time, player HP, and their inventory carry over to the next level when the level travel is initiated. In an expedition, the player's ultimate goal is to travel through 5 levels with randomized encounters and reach the next checkpoint before the time runs out. Depending on what the player does, it is actually possible for the player to discover 3 different kinds of guiding light. By harvesting the flora like the plants and trees, the player could possibly discover green guiding light. By mining stone and ore deposits, the yellow guiding light might spawn. Finally, through combat, the red guiding light could spawn. So okay, cool, you can get 3 different colors of light, but what does it do? Each time a portal color is chosen, it changes the spawn rate for the next map. Green portal will take you to a map with more flora and less of everything else. Yellow portal will have more ore, and red will have more combat. Additionally, some resources and enemies can only be found in a specific portal. The color will be recorded as the player enters to the next map until they reach the next checkpoint. We call this combination routes. Taking a specific route will allow the player to reach a secret checkpoint that may lead them to a series of totally different levels. For UI, we completed the blockout for the clock heads-up display. On the Sky Island, we used to have a more traditional farming sim clock that provide information on things like the seasons, weather, amount of money that the player has, because this information helps the player plan out their farming strategies. But in the land below, things that's important to the player are completely different. The information on the Sky Island clock are no longer the most crucial information that the player needs to survive in the land below. Instead, we shrunk the world time to the upper right and have the 8-hour survival timer to be the dominant clock. Because while the world time is still important to the user, the remaining time that the player can stay in the land below is crucial to their survival. To make sure the survival timer countdown is even more obvious to the player, we also added the lantern onto the clock. As we mentioned in the last devlog, when the remaining time goes below a certain threshold, the lantern and the clock background will turn yellow, with the lantern start flashing faster. When the remaining time goes below 1 hour, it will turn red, and the lantern will flash even faster. In the bottom, we have a graph that provides info on the player's progression until the next checkpoint. And finally, the frame of the clock indicates what route the player took from the last portal. Oh, we also took the progressing sun on the top from the farming clock that will move across the clock as an easy way to tell the time of day. On the concept side, we wrapped up the concept art for the celestial gate. We ended up going with the idea of an ancient tree overtaking the giant monument. The gate activates in multiple stages. As the player approaches the area, the stone path will appear from the water below. When the player gets onto the main plate, the ruin will light up. We're thinking about having zodiac sign on the ground, and maybe later when the player activates a specific modifier, one of the zodiac sign will change color. When the player confirms the travel, the stone monument will disintegrate, revealing the portal, with several pieces remaining and floating around the tree. As the player progresses and reaches new checkpoints, mementos will be obtained. They are the medium that connects the player with the location in the land below where they find the memento. With this connection, the gate can reopen the portal that can take the player back to that spot. When the memento is found, it will be hung on the tree, visualizing the player's progress in the land below. Additionally, we started a concept on the land below. We first started the process by gathering reference on what we think may be cool in the first region. Since this is the first region in the expedition, we want to do an environment that isn't too extreme, while maintaining a unique, magical, and mysterious feel to the environment. We picked a few spots that are unique from each other in the level blockout that we did last month and started doing some paint overs from the screenshots. We have a few more ideas up our sleeve for the environment, which we can share in the next devlog. Thanks for making this far into the video. We hope the audio recording quality is a lot better than the last month. On Discord, someone mentioned they're interested in hearing a little bit more about our vertical slice development roadmap. So we would like to talk a little bit about it. Since we only have 2 people on the team, we're front-loading the gameplay development. You'll notice a majority of items at the beginning of our roadmaps are all blackout instead of taking something to a total completion. This is because in the typical creative production, we like to do things in multiple passes. Doing this allows us to test out ideas, make major tweaks if needed, and therefore see the rough overall shape of the project and reiterate faster. This also prevents you from getting tunnel vision by going too deep into one specific feature without considering the others. Once all of the core gameplay elements feel solid, then we'll move on to the polishes and actual art production. So please bear with us if we're not showing a lot of cool visual in the beginning. We promise we will have a lot of really cool art to show when we're ready to move on to the art production. So far, we finished blocking out farming and the land below gameplay, so looking at this roadmap, you can take a wild guess on what we'll focus on and share with you guys in the next month. So that's a little bit about our development plan. Again, the usual plug, we're looking for these talented people to help us out. So please reach out to us if you're interested in helping us making this project a reality. With that said, we're gonna go back to playing making the game. Bye!